It is accurately described, but it happens to be a thetan exterior. It is the awareness of awareness unit cleared of the body, and that is what clear means. Now, as long as one did not have sharp, definite methods of exteriorizing somebody, one could not make clears. The magic formula for making a clear is root 1, step 4, be 3 feet back of your head. Some 30-50% of the people that you address, somewhere in that range, will be discovered to exteriorize fairly stably. As you pick them up off the street, one after the other. Do you know what you're doing when you say be 3 feet back of your head and the fellow stably 3 feet back of his head? He knows he's not a body. He knows he's out there. You know what you've done at that moment? You have made a clear, a Dianetic clear. Now let's not quibble and fiddle-faddle and let a bunch of medical doctors and psychologists who strain themselves up through the drain pipe and get into this science and on our comm lines disabuse you of anything else in what you've done. I don't care if you don't like Scientology, or you like it, or you really in favor of Dianetics, or you hate Dianetics, you like Scientology. Actually, these words both describe the same science. And the difference between the two is Dianetics covers dynamics 1 to 4, Scientology covers the dynamics 1 to 8. I want to give you something about this process. Is there any way you have to say this? Do you have to say it be 3 feet back of your head? Or do you have to say it be 3 feet back of your head? Or something of the sort? No, it is said in total knowledge of two-way communication. You've got to know your two-way communication, you see. You've got to be in communication with the person. And you have to remember to do it in a place that is quiet and where the person is not going to immediately be hit by your voice, falling chairs, starting trucks, or something of the sort, because he gets out of his head and boom, he's all of a sudden startled. The most sudden thing that can be done to a man has happened to him. That is the most startling thing that can be done to a man. Be 3 feet back of your head and there he is. He's very startled, and a wave of sound, or an impulse of sound, or upset, or a lot of chatter from the auditor right at that point will interiorize him again. He will duck in order to protect himself, as though he had to protect himself against anything. So this is really the secret, you might say, of secrets, and this is the one-shot clear, be 3 feet back of your head, and the secret in using it is simply this. Let's make very sure that the environment is quiet and that the auditor doesn't go on magpieing at the pre-clear endlessly, and then that the auditor, having done so, does not undertake any stunts. Don't do it as a joke, an experiment. Do it in a quiet place. Do it as processing, and do it just that way. Be 3 feet back of your head. Now, there are many other processes which have been tried in this. Many others. Actually, we found there was a command, which was the most startling news that I had received from outside sources up to that time. There was a command which made a person do this thing, and that was try not to be 3 feet back of your head. It's not good processing, but it did demonstrate there was a magic command. Working on it further, I managed to get together a command, be 3 feet back of your head, just that way, boom, and found out that I was hitting about 50% of the human race. This is the one-shot clear. Just a few little words. And it is done by an auditor in full knowledge of auditing, and it is not done as an experiment, it's done as processing. What can you do thereafter? The sky's the limit. It'll disappear if you do that. So, said somebody, be 3 feet back of your head. Next thing, say to him something like this, what do you see? You know, what do you see? And he says, well, no, there's a bunch of blackness, so forth, a bunch of blackness. You say, all right, make a copy of it. Copy it again. Copy it again. Copy it again. Now, to keep him from getting the whole universe all filled up full of copies, after you've told him a few of these and so forth, tell him to pull them in on himself, throw them away, one or the other. Usually, pull them in on himself is the safe thing to say. But have him do something with them, you know, throw them away or pull them in. You say then, now what are you looking at? It's black. And you say, well, copy it, make another copy of it, make another copy of it, make another copy of it, another copy of it, another copy of it. All right, pull all those in. Okay, he says, now you say, now what are you looking at? And he says, oh, there's shooting stars and there's all kinds of things happening around here. And you say, well, copy it. You know, do it again, copy it again, copy it again, copy it again, copy it again. Now, pull them on, give them, pull them in. Now, what are you looking at? I don't know, I see a wall over there. Good. Copy it. Again, 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 again. Now, boil your copies together. Pull them in. Get the idea? Now, there's the other part of it. Remember that we're dealing in a communication formula with somethingness and nothingness. So the other part of R15 is a more vital part to the improvement of his perception. People are always going toward somethingness, and they're never going toward nothingness. But to get a perfect duplicate of himself, it would be necessary for a thetan to look at nothingness. A perfect duplicate of a thetan would be nothingness. So this awareness unit would best look at a nothingness. So after we've had him copy things around for a little while, how long would you do this, by the way? It doesn't matter. The only way you can err is not do it long enough. You got that? You can err by not doing it long enough. You can't err by doing it too long. And now you say, now can you find a nothingness anywhere around you there? Well, normally it's a great triumph for a thetan to have made nothing out of something, so he has always kept what he considers a nothingness around, sort of tucked there in close, you know, to admire the fact that once in a while he did make nothing of something at one time or another. And you say, you find a nothingness. The auditing command, after you've done this, copy it, you know, is find a nothingness somewhere around you there? Yes, he says. Yeah, sure. All right, you say copy it. Copy it again, copy it again, copy it again, again. Now, you can tell him to do what he wants to do with those nothingnesses. You say, just do with them what you want to do. Okay, he says. You say, all right, now find another nothingness. Find another one. You got it now? All right, copy it, copy it, copy it again, copy it again, copy it again, copy it again. Now, because he's never looked at nothing, he will get an astonishing shift of vision quite often while doing this process. And this will startle him. It'll also amuse and interest him very much because it's right up his alley. He's making a good duplicate at the other end of that communication line, a duplicate of himself. And he's been trying to do this for years, and the world kept forcing him into making something, and he was always trying to make nothing to some degree. By this time, I probably know 100 ways of exteriorization. None of them as good as B3 feet back your head. Because once you get them out trickily, you know, you're very tricky and you're very smart, and you slide them out of their heads very carefully. They slide back in just as trickily and smartly. Doesn't do to be clever. You get somebody up to a point where he can exteriorize, and then exteriorizing. That's the way you go about it. And then, when you duplicated, that is to say, copied nothingness many, many times, you found out he was coming in toward his body again. Don't you go any place but R1-5. You stay with it. By doing what? Just go back to the beginning of R1-5, because you haven't solved the process. It is, after all, a process. This is not a series of processes which are done consecutively necessarily. See? It is a process, and you haven't finished the process. The process is concluded when he can be any distance he wants to be from the body without being pulled back in by the body. And that is done by permitting him to copy nothingness and copy masses and pull masses in on himself. Follow me?